Welcome, everybody. Welcome all of our internet.
All of our internet.
Welcome to all of my internet. My name is Al Gore. I created the internet. It is a series of tubes. Welcome to the Medicare Cafe PreChat, where Carrie and I log on just a little bit earlier and discuss things going on. So 2 things I want to discuss, because we only have a few minutes to do so. Number 1, you were talking about a book, The Winky Wonky.
The Winky Wonky Donkey. It's just a play on words about this little donkey who's winky wonky, and then he's a stinky winky wonky donkey, and then he's a it all plays on the winky wonky. It all rhymes.
Sure.
And then he has a baby, and it's the inky dinky winky wonky.
So this shows the differences between mine and yours parenting techniques. So my kid will have some of those books, but his favorite book to read is a book that I am parent of the year. It's Go the F to Sleep.
Oh!
So that's his favorite book. We also have any book that I just get a kick out of reading. So there's the one that's just anything with a double innuendo.
Oh yeah.
Double entendre, whatever. Anything with an innuendo. Cade owns it, and it's his favorite, and it makes me so happy. So there's a little difference there.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I've got a couple books I can think of what I will
That's his
give
favorite. Go to F to Sleep. Also, before we get started, again, not everyone to know our parenting choices. You actually, when you walked in today,
Yes.
you were talking to a client, and so I want to hear what's going on.
She called me about, she was new to Medicare. I think her effective date was in May. And every June, she gets a physical. Mm-hmm. And she was calling to tell me that, did you know physicals weren't covered?
Well, that seems odd.
And they're not.
Well, not even her, so it's more than the yearly wellness exam.
Okay, so
now I'm confused.
Okay, so physical, just like your routine physical.
Yes.
Anything that is considered not medically necessary. Some people get a physical because there's nothing wrong with them. They just want to make sure nothing's wrong with them. Mm-hmm. You would think that act of being proactive would be covered, but Medicare does not cover anything like that. And so she said her doctor told her that said now that you're on Medicare, you don't have, your physical won't be covered. You have something called a welcome to Medicare visit.
But don't you still get an annual?
No, even that has to be considered. It's not a true physical.
Right. It's just the wellness
it's
visit.
It's a
which
wellness
is
visit.
The depression screening, things like that. Okay.
So she goes, do you want to know what was on the welcome to Medicare visit? She goes, it was nothing like a physical. No, I haven't no client ever told me this before.
Yeah, interesting.
She said it's nothing physical. It's a 1 sheet of paper that asked her questions. She goes, the first one was if I had smoke detectors in my house. And the second one was if she had grips on her bathroom floor.
So it's
shower.
Literally just how likely are you to have an accident?
Yes. Yeah. That's what she was saying. It was basically finding out how much of a liability I'm going to be to Medicare is what her words were.
That's super obnoxious.
So obnoxious. And so
if I had to take time out of my day to go to a doctor to fill out a form and that's the extent of my wellness or my welcome to Medicare check, I'd be pissed.
She was so mad, and she was like, okay, well, she has lots of health issues, and so she decided to get it anyways, her physical, and she knew she was going to pay for it. But then the doctor recommended she get a pneumonia shot. So she got that, but she said Medicare denied her pneumonia shot.
Because she didn't get it at a Medicare approved appointment?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I was like, no, Joe. I promise you pneumonia shots are covered under your Part B. And she was like, I am on my Medicare, and it says Medicare paid $0. And so now I'm trying to figure out, is it because it was in a physical appointment?
Yes, because it may have been this appointment wasn't going to be covered, so she got the service covered.
That's not right.
That's not right. No, that is incorrect. So you have a really fun job.
But she called Medicare, which I tell my clients not to call them. But she said that she called them, and they said your pneumonia shot should be billed into your Part D. I was like, Joe, you're getting misinformed everywhere. And I'm like, I don't even know where to go from here. Who to start with. So.
Again, when you're calling Medicare, you're not calling, when you call 1-800-Medicare, you're not calling Medicare. You're not calling CMS. You're calling a company. They have many different call centers. They outsource their call centers in many different places. For example, one of the call centers they outsource to is Dynamic Solutions, which again sells war tanks, guns, equipment, things like that. And they also are the call center behind Medicare. So, like, no, it's not a reliable source of information. That's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Which actually leads us into our conversation today about why it's so important to work with agents. Yeah. That worked out really well.
That was. Great transition.
So, welcome everybody. We're past the top of the hour, so welcome everybody to Medicare Cafe. Today we are focusing on embracing your advisor role and value adds for you as an agent. And the reason why we're talking about this today, guys, is because we want to help you, basically help you retain and help you refer people. Happy clients will do two things. One, they'll stay with you. They're much less likely to move. And two, they talk to you. That's how you get those referrals.
They refer you. They talk you up. They like talking about you and referring you to their friends and family.
You know what's really interesting? So it was about in 2018, I think. I was able to go on a retreat with like our top 12 agents throughout the entire senior marketing specialist.
Wow.
It was a really, really cool opportunity that I have. And when we sat down with them, this was a topic that we've been talking about, what your value add is for forever. And when we asked this group, again, we're talking about multi-millions of dollars of production in one room. And we're sitting there talking to them, and we said, so what's your value add? Why do people work with you? And, you know, they all had the same answer.
Really? What was it?
And it was so basic. And I was like, you guys, that's not your value add. You guys got to really think about what your value add is.
What'd they say?
We help make Medicare simple. Every agent says that. Every single agent will say, we make a complicated topic of Medicare simplified. We help every single agent. When you ask them, what is it, why should I work with you versus working with your competition, that's what they say. But everybody says that. That's not true value add. So I always equate it to, like, imagine, and if you guys have heard my trainings before, sorry, I just love this analysis. But it's like we talk about working with a gas station.
I was really excited when I saw the slides. I was like, where's she going with the gas station?
Where am I going with the gas station?
Remark.
So this is something I actually did. I did a speech on this like 3 or 4 years ago. So it's something that I love this analogy. But it's like something that you go and you do every couple days. If you're like me and I drive a gas-guzzling Tahoe, I do this way more often than I like. But when you think about where you're going to go to your gas station, think about your favorite gas stations, right? Do you have a favorite gas station?
Yep.
Why is that your favorite gas station?
Convenience.
Convenience is a big thing.
I get to use my fuel saver card.
Fuel savings and things like that. The idea of it is you don't go to that gas station because you like the process of getting gas there.
Yeah.
It's all about, again, if you go, we talk about this, if you go to a gas station, you fill up your tank, and you had a good experience. You know what I mean? Nothing went wrong. The machine took your card. Everything was fine. You're not then going to go to your spouse, your neighbor, your loved one and say, like, oh, my gosh, I went and got gas at the Quick Trip or at the break time the other day. It was awesome. Like, no, because nobody, that's like you went to the gas station, you got
your
gas.
gas.
What did you expect to happen? Nothing is worth talking about in that situation. But if you're, again, like we always joke about Matt Carson in our office, is obsessed with Quick Trips. And like if you go on a trip with him and you stop at any other gas station than a Quick Trip, he gets very upset with you. He has an alliance to Quick Trip, but it's because they have the best food, the cleanest bathrooms, the biggest convenience stores, the most cash registers, so it's all of that stuff. It has nothing to do with getting gas. It's everything else that you don't think about.
Yeah.
So when you're an insurance agent, you selling insurance, is that something that's worth talking about? No. You went to an insurance agent, you bought insurance. There's nothing worth talking about. So these value add ideas are things that are worth, if you want to be remarkable, you have to do something worth making a remark about. So this is where your value adds come in. Because if all you're doing is selling insurance, no one's going to talk about you. That's not cool.
There's so much more that we do other than insurance.
So the first thing, again, that I talk about whenever you are looking for your value add, one of the first ideas I have is actually looking at their prescriptions. I truly believe that the easiest, most effective way to save somebody money month to month is looking at their prescriptions.
For sure.
And the reason for that is because, they're not going to use their cancer plan every month. They hopefully don't use their medical plan every month.
Yeah.
The drugs plans are really the only thing that they're going to use month to month. So making sure you can spend a ton of money or save a ton of money by making sure they're on the right plan. If they are on the right plan, are you helping them stay out of the donut hole by using programs like Needy Meds? We've talked about Needy Meds a lot here. Needy Meds is a program that helps individuals find coupons, 5 drug-saving programs, all in one place, and you can search by condition or drug. So it's a really easy way to do that. CleverRx is another one, similar as
one.
like GoodRx, but like you, the agent, get paid a commission for it. And GoodRx isn't going to sell around you, and a person can only get CleverRx if they use an agent. And then last but not least is something that a lot of people don't think about, and that's called drug splitting, not blood splitting. Drug splitting and genetics.
Generics.
I'm in a very biology kick today. Blood splitting and genetics.
Yeah. What's going on up there in that head?
No, it's been a long week and it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Drug splitting is what happens. You see this a lot with medications that are good for anti-nausea or sleeping or whatever. They'll have a medication in there to offset some of the side effects.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times what they'll do, or even a chloride or something like that. So what you do is a lot of times these are drug splittings. It happens when you get a brand name medication, oftentimes, that combine multiple drugs into one pill. And then you can ask the doctor, and again, very rarely, they're super brand, they're super high expensive, usually really high in the formularies. So you ask the provider, hey, can we actually split this medication? So instead of taking 1 pill, they take 2 or 3. But oftentimes it'll take a tier 3 or tier 4 medication down to tier 1, to where typically the copays are 0.
And the doctor or the pharmacist is the one that answers that.
The pharmacist can tell you if that drug is available for splitting, but oftentimes it's in the name. Usually they'll have this with a slash and this. So the names will usually tell you if it's multiple medications into one. But the pharmacy, always advise your clients to ask about the pharmacy, saying is this available for drug splitting?
Interesting.
Which essentially, again, instead of taking 1 pill, they'll take 2 or 3. But again, it typically will take their cost savings to a copay of coinsurance of $25 to $40.
Yeah.
And down to a $0 copay.
That's so interesting.
That can save a lot of money.
Idea.
That's called drug splitting.
I'm surprised at how many agents outside of SBS that I know around here that they claim that they do Medicare, but just don't even touch the drugs.
It is.
I'm how you are not servicing your clients.
No.
I feel aside if someone has pre-existing conditions, and yes, medical can be one of their biggest worry, but drugs, I feel is the biggest worry about clients and where some of the most questions are. I can't imagine be oh no, you're on your own. Go to Medicare.gov.
I'm going to help you with all this other stuff. I equate it to going to the dentist. You know what I mean? If you go to the dentist, when you think about that, you think of I'm going in for teeth filling, I'm going in for extractions, the big stuff.
Yeah.
But could you imagine going to a dentist that didn't clean your teeth? And they said yeah, I'm going to do all this other stuff, but when you want a deep clean, I'm going to send you somewhere else because I'm not going to do that.
No, that's absurd.
I'm going to go to a dentist that does all of it. You know what I mean? And so it is the easiest way to save somebody money. It is something that they use on a monthly basis. It's absurd the amount of agents who refuse to do any Part D business.
Yeah, and I know they don't pay that much, but I feel that is the number one value add to your clients.
It's a lead source. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's a lead source, and it's a lead source, and it is a retention source. So it's basically if you're willing to pay money to do a lead drop of any type, but you're not willing to do PDP, that makes no sense to me.
No. And you're just you might not get paid a ton of commissions on those drugs, but you're going to make the drug process easier for them.
Absolutely.
And again, they're going to talk about you and refer you to their friends.
Absolutely.
Family.
So the next value add that we talk about is actually something that you were just talking about as we logged in today.
Yep.
And that is being their advocate.
Absolutely. I feel and not to categorize, but I see this the most in my elderly, widowed women clients who oftentimes they had a spouse that passed away and kind of took care. They were their healthcare advocate. They handled everything. And so some of these women are just like, they find so much comfort in knowing that they have somebody that's going to help them understand a bill they get. Or, you know, I always tell my clients, like, if they're on a med sup, you should not pay more than $233. If you get more bills than that, do not pay them. Call me. We will, like, doctors' offices mess up billing.
All the time. They're humans.
All the time. All the time. So don't just pay your bills. Some people just get them and think it's right. Be an advocate for yourself. And if you are not an advocate for yourself, that's what I like to be for my clients.
Well, and like you were just talking about how you had this client that, like, oh, they're telling me my pneumonia shot's covered under Part D. They're telling me that it's not going to be covered at all. They're telling me this. And, like, they're calling 1-800-Medicare. They're calling what they think is a reputable source. So, like, it's honestly, the odds are not in your favor. So to build that trust and be like, no, this is what we're going to do. Let me teach you the questions to ask. Let me teach you how to handle the situation. Because, again, that's what people, you know, we talk about this, like, when it comes to winning an FMO. It's easy to be there for somebody when things are going well. It's easy to be a great agent when they have no complaints, no questions, or anything like that. You earn your stripes when it comes to when things aren't good. And that's what people talk about. People talk about, like, they helped me when things went wrong. That's really your time to shine.
I met with some clients yesterday. They were taking care of their Missouri anniversary, or taking advantage of their Missouri anniversary period, and we were switching their supplements. She came in, sat down, and she goes, Carrie, I just have to tell you, I'm so sorry for being difficult. The last time we spoke during enrollment, I know I was very difficult. I was just really stressed with, like, what decision to do. And she was just like, thank you for being my sounding board and, like, being the receiving end of that.
Best.
Yeah, like, she like, it was like she had to get it off her plate. And I was like, that's why I'm here. Like, don't feel like you just have to come to me with your good questions, or like, I want to be the receiving end of that. So you're not calling Medicare and
getting bad information. So no, such a great point.
Yes.
The next way that we recommend to really advertising your value add, it's stuff that you guys are already doing, but, like, making sure you're getting the most out of that.
Yes.
That's going to be helping your clients use their new plans, especially at the first of the year when they're trying a new plan for the first time. So that can look differently depending on what kind of plan they're going with, but, like, it's absurd. So, funny story. United Healthcare, this would have been back in 2019, United Healthcare eliminated their Silver Sneakers program on their Medicare Advantage plans. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They said, we're no longer going to do them. And the reason for that, they said, we can invest that money in so many other places, that we're going to build better benefits, have more over-the-counter stuff, because no one uses the Silver Sneakers. None of their clients, they said, it's like, was less than an 8% usage rate of their Silver Sneakers. So they said, we're not going to fund that anymore because people aren't using it. Let's move that money elsewhere. And if I tell you that riots broke out, it was almost devastating to
I feel like people love
to talk about
Silver Sneakers.
People love to talk about Silver Sneakers. But again, United Healthcare stated that there was less than an 8% usage on their Silver Sneakers program. So that's why these things become so incredibly popular. Yep. It's a great retention thing for you as well, because, like, if somebody's actively using your other plan, hopefully they're not going to the doctor every month. You know what I mean? So you need to make sure that they're actively using it elsewhere to help build retention, to help them love their plan so they don't want to have to switch all the time.
Yeah.
So helping them find, what does that look like? Find a gym for them that's local, that helps them, that accepts their Silver Sneakers or Renew Active.
I'm surprised every time I do the, find gyms by me. I pull it up with my clients if I see that they're excited about the gym. There are so many. There's, like, Pure Barre. Do you know Pure Barre's?
Yes.
CrossFit gyms. Like, it's not just your like ARC YMCA, and your YMCAs. Yeah. It's some really, like, high-end, exclusive gyms. Now, a lot of those you're limited to, like, 4 classes a month or something, but still,
I mean, but again, but you have to teach your clients, here's the gym. Like, here, like, what do you enjoy? Here are the gyms in your area. Let's go ahead and set up schedule you a walkthrough of one. Because, again, it's a less than 8% usage rate of those benefits that they were so excited about.
I had a client ask me a question last week that I just remembered I never got back to them. Let me see if you know the answer.
Oh, okay.
He was like, can I go to all of these?
So you would have to have a membership.
Right.
Now,
but
I don't know.
like Renew Active or Silver Sneakers pay for you to go to multiple?
I cannot imagine. I imagine it. To be fair, I don't know. I've not seen it in writing, and I don't ever like give a definite answer until I see it in
Anybody
writing.
know? Anybody know?
I cannot imagine that they would pay for multiple memberships.
But like, because he was like, well, I really want to try CrossFit, but like I know I go to Planet Fitness or whatever. Can I go to Planet Fitness and then also do my 4 classes at CrossFit?
Planet Fitness is like $10 a month. So just go and CrossFit's way more than that. So
right, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't have an answer, and I just remembered I never got back to him on that.
I don't have an answer, but I can't imagine. That they're gonna, because they go by like the membership. Like that's what it pays for is that membership. I can't imagine. I think it's a one and done deal.
But think of how much a different membership like in Columbia, Missouri would cost than in LA.
True. That's a very good point.
So
science. I also, when it comes to teaching them how to use their plan, I would say use their over-the-counter. Teach them how to use their over-the-counter, the benefits. Teach them how to use their flex cards. Because again, have you guys like read the materials on how to use these? These flex cards can be really confusing.
So confusing.
The over-the-counter benefits can be really confusing. And your clients, again, they got so excited about using that plan for those benefits, but they're not going to know how to use them.
No.
Walk
them through it.
Exactly. I love these ideas too, because if you do have administrative staff or an assistant, it doesn't take you actively having to do this. This is incredible work for retention and referrals for your admin team to do as well.
And just think, guys, if you aren't doing this for your clients, somebody else is going to knock on their door or call them on the phone and do it for you. And then you've lost that client.
You've lost that client because, again, like if you're not teaching them, it's just another way, like even if they're not loyal to you, if they like their plan, they're going to be loyal to the plan.
For sure.
So if they do get a phone call or something like that, then it's like, and they see like, ooh, well, this plan offers me a Part B give back. This plan offers that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and switch.
Yep.
Because if they're not actively using their plan, they have no loyalty to that. So it's just another way. Wes says it is multiple. Interesting. I would definitely look into that because I think that doesn't make sense to me. But again, I've been wrong. So that could be.
I was with you. I was like, I don't think so, because I was like, well, I would think you could do 1 and then like the 4 classes. I was like, maybe 2, and I was like, I'm just shooting out of the dark here. Like, let me find out.
Let's look that up. That's very interesting. The next way that you can be a value add to your clients is being the local resource. This is something that I think is incredibly huge, especially with the rise of call centers and the rise of complaints in Medicare. Making sure you know what's going on in that area. Now, being local doesn't mean you have to be face-to-face. It can mean that you can sell, across the state, even across the nation if you wanted to. But you have to know, what's going on in that area. Be very specific to them so that they know that, you're taking care of them holistically.
I've had a lot of people that have asked me, I don't have a primary care. Who do you recommend? And who's good at this hospital? What hospital should I go to? And what do you know? Especially people that have moved here. They're like, I don't know anybody.
I don't know what to do. Yeah. I don't even know who to ask. So if you aren't truly local but still want to be able to give local resources, if you go to Medicare.gov, they actually have a thing that's called Find Your Physician. And when you do a Find Your Physician, it comes up with different reviews, star ratings of that physician. It tells you if that physician is accepting new patients, tells you if that physician is accepting Medicare and Medicare assignment. So there's still things that you can do to basically be a local resource, even if you're not super familiar. At least you have the resources to be that resource.
That's awesome, Wes. He said, I have Silver Sneakers and I am members of Planet Fitness, YMCA, and Lifetime Fitness. There we go.
Wes, what's your favorite thing to do at the YMCA? My sister's a member of the YMCA, and she talks about she does yoga, her kids does basketball there. They do all these things. Do we have a YMCA in Columbia?
There's one in Ashland, I think.
The one that she goes to is in Macon, which is an hour, hour plus away. So, Wes, what do you do at the YMCA? This is now what I want to hear about. This is now what I'm curious about. Are you on a basketball league? Because that would be pretty cool. I like that.
Your second bullet point of you don't have to call 1-800-Medicare or your insurance carrier. Yes, I think we've said it multiple times, but train your clients not to. Just when I got off the phone earlier when she told me she had called Medicare, I was like, Joe, I told you don't need to call Medicare.
Don't call
and she
Medicare,
was like, I know, I'm
wrong.
sorry. She was, I was just trying to gather all the information before I called you.
Apologizing.
I know, she literally apologized to me. And I was like, it's okay. But just know you don't have to.
Wes is on the cycle. Good for you. I would think like I can't be on a bicycle because then I get frustrated. I'm not going anywhere.
Man, cycling's so hard.
I can't.
Spin classes. Woo. Get you right there.
Get me my glutes. The next, let's see. Benjamin says I'm a big fan of the YMCA dance. I'm not gonna show that for you. No. The next one, I think this might be. We have two more. One of them is going to be, again, setting follow-up appointments. This is completely underrated. Setting follow-up appointments is single-handedly one of the best things you can do to build your book of business and to have retention referrals. Again, the biggest reason for that is that every single time you have an appointment, when that person leaves your office or you leave their home or you're done, they're on to the next thing. So every single time you want to get in front of that client, you do have to basically resell yourself or resell your services. You have to explain to them why I need to see you during AEP, why I need to see you in July. You know what I mean? Because they're, when you're out of sight, out of mind, you kind of have to rebuild that relationship with them.
I also really read my clients on this. Like, if I can tell somebody is super type A, just like some clients I met with last week, I think it was, I was like, all right, let's go ahead and set your AEP appointment. And she was like, good, I'm not, didn't want to leave here, without setting that.
Yeah.
So, like, if you can tell someone, like, I don't know, I feel like you can tell if someone's a planner.
Sure. Yeah.
I always, even if it's 8 months in advance. Now, you should do it with all of them, but definitely those that.
Well, it's nice to tell them, like, what the expectations are, what's the next step. To being like, Medicare recommends that we meet, we review your benefits annually. So let's go ahead, and I know it's only February, but let's go ahead and just set your appointment up for next October.
Right.
Dentists do it. Dentists set an appointment for you every 6 months, and you set the expectation. You don't ever have to call and make it a dentist appointment because you keep it, they're already scheduled. So you need to be doing the same thing with your clients as well.
Can we just take a minute to see? This is black. And my shirt is like royal blue.
And they look the same. Lighting.
Is this like the dress, the golden blue dress?
This is the golden blue dress. This is the production, the magic of production here. Usually, guys, we have like we have a chalkboard wall with our Medicare Cafe magnet. However, we are recording the sales summit going on August 17th. So we have a little bit of a different background. We look a lot more formal than normal. Yeah. Usually it's literally like a classroom.
I look very blue today.
Very blue. Aw, that makes you sound sad. The next one is we're going to be talking about, and I believe the last one is connections to other professionals. I'm going to shut up and let you take this away.
I feel like I get asked this all the time. Well, and also doctors, like I just said. People ask me, if they don't have a primary care, who do you recommend? Or if we're talking about, yes, a lot of times my referrals come from financial advisors, but if they don't, and we're talking about IRMA, or I'm asking about, what are you doing with that 401k rollover when you retire? Those types of questions I will ask, or they'll ask me, well, do you recommend a financial planner?
Yeah. Well, because you've provided your worth and you've built this relationship. You've done so much to help them that you are the expert. So they say, any question I have now, if it's even remotely close to insurance or remotely close to my health insurance, they're going to you.
Yep, absolutely. Same thing with PNC. They'll ask, do you do other types of insurance, or can you help me with my home and auto? And no, I don't, but I know somebody that I can.
They don't want to do the research. Again, I keep equating the things outside of our industry because that's, I always like to kind of take us out of what we're comfortable with. But imagine like going to the doctor, and you go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, like you really do need a knee replacement. You know what I mean? You're working bone on bone. There's no cartilage there. It's time for you to get a knee replacement. Okay, have a great day. What?
Okay.
You just dropped some major stuff on me. What's my next step? Do I have to go and research knee replacement doctors? Surgeons is what those are called. Do I have to go do that? Do I need to do the research on that? No. I'm going to go to whoever my professional, who my professional refers, because it's overwhelming. I don't want to have to do that research. I expect you to do that legwork for me.
And then also that's a good way to also continue to build and strengthen those referral partners that are sending you business. It's always wonderful when you can return a favor and send them back.
Absolutely. So again, be the expert that other experts refer, and making sure that, again, you are offering basically full service. Because here's the thing. If they go to somebody who does financial planning. If they go to somebody who you don't recommend, that you don't have a hand in that individual may also do insurance.
True.
So it's really easy. Like every product line that you don't offer, it's a foot in the door for somebody else.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying be holistic and do financial planning, do PNC, do Medicare, do all that stuff, because that'd be outrageous. But have a hand in the community and have a hand in their inner circle to people that you do trust.
Absolutely.
The real last one is going to be just doing seminars. Is a great value add. People love continuing education.
Yes.
Medicare 101's fine. I do recommend doing other types of Medicare seminars. I love ANOX. I love ANOX because people receive this letter in the mail that says annual notice of change, and they get really confused by it because they're like, what the hell does this mean? And what they do is that they call you, or they should call you first. Now, what I love about doing this is that, like, unfortunately, when that happens, that takes up a lot of your AEP. You spend a lot of your AEP working with people who are not going to move, not going to change, and you don't necessarily, it takes up valuable time that you could be meeting with new people. So I love these ANOC seminars because you can knock out a ton of those appointments. They like it better because they're not wasting a day they're not having to waste a day sitting in your office. Nobody likes insurance appointments, you know what I mean? So they know that, like, hey, I got to go and find out, do I want to stay on my plan or not? They bring their friends, they bring their neighbors, they bring their loved ones, so you get referrals that way. But they can relax knowing that you're handling that Medicare for them. So I'm a huge fan of doing seminars. I'm a huge fan of doing ANOC seminars because it really does free up your AEP.
I do all kinds of seminars, and I've never thought about an ANOC seminar.
I love them.
I really like that idea.
Do it.
Smart.
I'll
Very
help
smart.
you.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a minute, a couple times. Every once in a while, I'll have an idea that sticks.
You got lots of them. So I was wondering if this was meant to be on there.
Sure wasn't. We're going to go on past it. All right, guys.
Slide from like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It's been a long week, Carrie. Okay? Listen.
No judgment. No judgment.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, we are doing a lot of really cool stuff prepping for the National Senior Sales Summit. Medicare Cafe also has a breakout summit there.
Yes, we do.
We're doing an interview to where you get to learn all about how Carrie built her business on referrals almost alone. Have you ever worked a lead? Have you ever, like, called a mail order or called a telephonic lead?
Yes. Yeah. Probably my first 6 months. I called. I mean, I had some. Never door knocked.
Never door knocked? So it's fair to say like 90% of your business has come from your networking.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to watch a breakout about how exactly Carrie has built her networking partners to do that. So that's really exciting. Again, the Sales Summit is, if you want to sign up for the National Senior Sales Summit, it is completely virtual this year. So you can go to smsteam.net, click on the Sales Summit. It's a banner ad, so click on that. Get signed up. It is completely free this year. In the years past, we've charged $200+. This year, it's completely free. So make sure you make the absolute most out of that. Everybody who registers does get a Talking Medicare book as well. Dan Mangus, who is the Vice President of Growth and Development here at Senior Marketing Specialist, he writes a book every single year called Talking Medicare, where it comes up with like frequently asked questions by agents. It's an agent resource. Things like, how does VA work with your Part D? How does the HSA work with your taxes? Things like that that like affect seniors and client questions that you get. So if you sign up for it, you'll get a copy of that. Absolutely no charge. So
I need to sign up. That was my reminder.
You do need to sign up. You do.
Do we have any texts? That's what I was trying to.
Yes. Let's see. I didn't get any.
Nope. Oh, we do have one.
When you mention dynamic solutions with Medicare, I wonder if those reps have an incentive to re-enroll people that they may have misled from their agent or call center. A few times I've called 1-800-MEDICARE to help a client get a situation straightened out, and the reps sure seem adamant in enrolling my client. They claim they have no incentive. So thank you, Brad, for that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and honestly, like, if you look at anything that's like comes from Medicare, they are pushing so hard on different Medicare Advantage plans. Very rarely are you going to see anything.
But they couldn't
talk
be
about
agents.
That. They can't be agents, but they do say, like, if you have a question on your Medicare benefits, they say call Medicare. They don't say call your local agent. They don't. There are nothing that talk about the local resources offered by agents. So I mean, like, I would 100% agree with you that that a lot of times 1-800-MEDICARE, they can assist. They can't enroll somebody. They're not agents. They don't receive commissions, but they can assist people in enrolling themselves. People have been able to enroll themselves into Medicare Advantage and PDP plans since before I got into this industry in 2013. And so that's by doing 1-800-MEDICARE. So that's what happens whenever like somebody calls 1-800-MEDICARE, they're going to not incentivize them, but they are going to suggest self-enrolling into a plan.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's not accurate. It's not accurate.
No.
Now, there's a lot of really cool things that, like NAHU, the National Association of Health Underwriters. There's a NAHU association that works specifically with FMOs, the top FMOs in the nation. And so there's a lot of legislation being brought up to kind of promote more agents. But I guess, you know, a lot of this stuff in the call recording and things like that, it's a huge setback in that. So
I imagine.
More to come.
Yeah. Make sure your clients aren't calling 1-800-Medicare. Moral of the story.
What is the summit site? So you can go to smssalessummit.com, smssalessummit.com, or just go to smsteam.net, and there's a banner there that will take you to the Sales Summit website.
Sign up, guys. It's free. Lots of good content.
Again, like I actually just recorded a breakout today talking about client acquisition in 2023. The main purpose of that is that why are we trying to work leads the same way we've always worked them?
Right.
Consumers are buying different, they're shopping different, they're researching different. So why is our lead cost, or why do our leads look the same that they always have?
True.
So that's one of the breakout sessions I'm doing. It's a lot of really cool stuff. There's a lot of really great content. We are doing another breakout session where we actually interview other integrity partners, talking about how to protect your business during an EP, well, call centers and advertising, things like that, best practices to retain your book of business.
And those are all different breakout sessions,
different
right?
Breakouts,
yeah. So those are all pre-recorded.
Those are pre-recorded, and those will be on demand.
Awesome.
So, but you won't get it if you don't sign up.
That's right.
Any other questions or comments, guys? Again, I am super low energy today. I will be the first to admit I am not bringing the heat, and I'll tell you why. One of them is because
I'm feeling winky wonky.
I'm feeling winky wonky. Which, like, if you read the books that I read to my kids, winky wonky means a very different thing.
Okay.
I'm feeling off. I'm feeling off, but it's mainly because, again, just I'm going to Dallas this week. Actually,
again?
As soon as
didn't you go last week?
No, I didn't go last week. That was the 8% Nation. Matt Carson
okay.
went last week. I'm literally going. We get off here today. I'm jumping on a plane to go to Dallas to learn about United Healthcare's benefits. Their rollout is this week. Come with me.
Can
yeah.
Can I get the invite next time?
So I would love that. So we're gonna go to Dallas and learn all about what United Healthcare is gonna have for 2023, hassle-free stability and something else is what they always talk about. But like they have been for the past few years. They are like some of the easiest to work with their value add benefits, and they've been really, really, what's it called whenever you're not consistent? You're stable. Stable, hassle-free, whatever, Hasselhoff. They've been really stable.
Hasselhoff.
So I'm really hoping to continue that.
So next week, you'll have all kinds of good updates for us.
I'm actually doing a webinar on Friday. I'm coming back. So my plan, I'm doing a webinar next Friday at 2 p.m.
Okay.
My flight lands at 1. So I'm going to be in this studio at 2 to try to tell you everything I learned in Dallas from United Healthcare. I am dedicated to the game. So if you're being
cocktail at 3.
And then cocktails.
Tails.
At 3. So if you're all talking like, Olivia, like I'm really low energy, I'm really tired, it's all for you. I'm very sleepy.
You're worth it though.
I'm very sleepy, but yeah, everybody's worth it. So appreciate your guys' patience with me. Just let me take a nap.
Good luck.
Awesome, guys. Well, we will see you next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Make sure you sign up for the summit. Join us on Friday. We talk about the benefits coming to you from United Healthcare nationwide. So until next time, have fun,
make money,
and give impeccable service. Thanks, guys.